Hey, what's up, Patrick? This is going to be a quick demo video for you for your custom Saberforge saber installed with a Proffie. Hey, good morning, Patrick. Let's go over your Saberforge saber. So as you know, it had the old factory install in it, something that you took out before you sent it over to me, but I am very familiar with those. And what you had most likely was a one button setup right here, a seedling charger in this slot right here, and then a menagerie of electronics that were taped together in here, right? So you took all that out before you sent it to me. I made it a 2-button setup, which I tend to prefer. I feel like it's just easier to use. So your front button will be power, your back will be auxiliary, and I'll show you how to go through the functions. All right, you now have this is a Carl Chen V4 Neopixel adapter, or blade connector rather, and it's got those LEDs in it, so we'll fire those up here in a second. And you have a removable battery, or a removable chassis, right? So just come over here and unscrew your pommel, put this off to the side, and your chassis will slide right out. All right, and then this is what we've got here. So this is what I came up with for you, just a nice clean setup. Your Proffie board is here. It is adhesed down to the shelf, but you've got access to your SD card and your micro USB from right here. You've got a kill switch located right in front of the board, which is something I like to do. I've been doing that for a long time. I just like how easily accessible that is. A 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker. So this sounds really good. Flipping it over here, you have a removable battery setup. All right, so spring side for the negative side of your battery, please. You will need a Keep Power 18650 protected cell battery. That's what this is right here. It has the sticker off because I like to take the sticker off for my test battery, but that's what that is. I'll send you a link. I don't typically send these in the mail. It takes a long time, especially to get stuff to and from Hawaii, which is where you are from. So I don't want any complications there. All right, so it is made specifically for that type of a battery. I outlined this in a recent install that I did a couple weeks ago. Somebody used the wrong battery. It didn't fit in the chassis correctly. It was the wrong milliamp. It messed up the battery, jammed up the speaker. Like, you got to use the battery. I can't stress that enough. All right, so let me know if you don't have any. I'll send you a link. All right, but we'll just take our battery, negative side for the spring, snap it right in there. It snaps in there nice and tough. You had me put roughly 12 sound fonts from Kyberphonic on here. They're all on here, and we will cycle through them. All right, but when you put the battery in, you're not going to hear anything. Come over here and flip the power switch or the kill switch.
You should have listened to the ARC Trooper from the beginning, Captain.
So you got that nice boot up. We'll come over here. This piece obviously needs to go in first. It falls right in, all right? You take your pommel, you screw your pommel in. The pommel is what locks the chassis in place. You'll start feeling it get a little tight about right here. Lock it down all the way. That locks the chassis into a 14-pin PCB system I have about right here. We can hit power. Now you see your LEDs all fired up, and this becomes a very loud boy. Auxiliary, and you've got twist off. You should notice a considerable sound difference in there. I have this little test blade right here. It is programmed for a full-length blade. I've got this guy probably about, I don't know, 13, 14 inches maybe, 12, in between 12 and 14. These are a little something that I make, and then I offer from time to time. If you need one, let me know. But this is one I had laying around. So we're gonna slide this in. You wanna push it down and lock this down right here, all right? And let's talk about these grub screws for a second. This guy is your blade retention. This guy you do not want to mess with. This is locking down the second piece of my chassis in here that you'll never see. It's just large enough to come in here and get locked down by this guy. So don't mess with that guy. All right, we'll hit power. Lights up a blade very nicely. Blaster bolt deflex is tap-in auxiliary. If you want blade lock up, you'll need to hold auxiliary down and hit the saber. And it will stay locked up until you let go of it. All right, each one of these sound fonts has a soundtrack. So to play that, do a long press on your power. Super loud, right? Do another long press to turn off. It's that easy, and it's the same on all of them. So go to the next sound font, you tap auxiliary.
At last we will have revenge.
Menace. Nice smooth swing. Good flash on clash. If you don't want to twist off, of course, you can just tap the power button.
Ninth Sister. Del Solo.
If you have a color here that you don't like, hold down auxiliary and hit power. You'll hear that noise, and just twist the saber. Every click is a different sound. If we like that blue, we'll hit power. All right? Now when we turn this back on, it's a blue blade. That's how you change color. You can do that on any of them, and it will remember the color that you chose. All right?
Second Sister.
FM 2187.
Whoops. I accidentally went into mute mode. So one thing you could do if you wanted to turn on your blade and not have any sound, you could double tap this real quick, which is easy to do sometimes, but a single tap just turns on the blade, right?
Ahsoka Tano. Bo-Katan sent me. Balan's skull. Traitor!
Rogue.
I need a weapon!
You have one!
General Crow, you're being released. At last we will have revenge. Ninth Sister.
All right, and then when you're done, we'll go ahead and we'll take this blade out of here, and we'll pop out the chassis real quick. So it's as easy as loosening up that grub screw, coming over here and unscrewing your pommel. Your chassis will slide right out into your hand. All right, and you can just turn off the kill switch, and that kills the power. And you might need a tool. I have a Lego tool here, right here, or you can use a pair of tweezers or something to come in here and just pop this out of the chassis. It comes right out like that. And then slide this back in and put your pommel in to lock down the chassis for safekeeping. And that is basically how you operate your saber. So let me know if you have any questions. Really appreciate you coming my way to have this done. And I will get this out in the mail to you probably tomorrow. All right, thanks, man.